A 3rd and 12.
There you go. 4-8. 55. Hey, defense, let's go.
Prescott from the gun. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Cowboys' 21-yard line.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it here. This is Mark Walton. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and
2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
47.
Looking to throw. Prescott. His throw incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete.
Go, get out there. Here we go, 46.
Check 59, Mike is 59, Mike to 59.
Watch the screen. Watch the 26.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he will at least be able to fall on it himself, but it was 4th down, and the possession changes. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Well, they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Yeah, the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Check that set. Check. Wait. You got tape. You got tape. You got kill. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Coming down. Hey, Zoo. Let's go. Let's go.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. Here's Matt Hawk now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Now Austin. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. An update from Buffalo. And the Bengals out to the early advantage. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go, 46.
25. Check left flag. 25. Check.
We're going to 54. Why is? We're going to 54. Why is?
Check right. Check right. Watch it divide.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Then we're going to 53.
Check 6 guys.
Here we go. 26.
Now Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kalen Ballage, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10. They'll run here with Balaj. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and run with Balaj. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. These two teams all tied after 1. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Balaj. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Check. 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 Check 13. Check. Hey. Check it out. Hey, let go. 55. 55.
From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Throw left side complete. That's Walton. Call it a gain of 3. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year, franchise rookie record for Dallas, en route to a Pro Bowl appearance.
Watch the whip. Watch the whip. Watch the drill. He's crashing. He's checking crash. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming.
To throw on 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
They had enough yards for the 1st down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No 1st down.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
We go 47. 26.
Prescott. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10.
Alert 3. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. There we go, kill. 26.
Back to it after the pick 6. Prescott. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Now this game certainly has some historical ties. These two teams met way back in Super Bowl VI, played at Tulane Stadium in New Orleans, Dallas getting the victory. First title for the Cowboys. They've won 4 more since, but that next season was when Miami had the perfect season, still the only undefeated campaign in league history, as they capped it with a win over Washington in Super Bowl VII in Los Angeles. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Kill.
Prescott to throw it. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Under. Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play here for Dallas. 47 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. This is Elliott. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Dolphins' 24-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
They'll try the sweep with Elliott. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Elliott. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Prescott on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. It's Witten for the Cowboy touchdown. Jason Witten, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Marr, up and good. A 2nd quarter score from KC. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted.
That's caught at the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jakeem Grant, 77 yards. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points. And that is how you retaliate after getting scored on one play, big pass downfield, and you hit the end zone.
Almost feels like 2 boxers just throwing haymakers at each other, doesn't it? One connects with a big one, the other comes right back. Okay, I'll show you. And they attacked right back on the first play of the drive and hit them big.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Looking to throw again on second down. Prescott looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Elliott. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Well, using Zeke Elliott in the passing game, that's something Cowboy fans are getting used to. Last year, 77 receptions. And you think back to his rookie season, he had 32 and then 26 his second year. But he's really on the uptick. A first down carry by Elliott. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Let's put that team on the Henry. Mike 55, Mike 55. Tackles. Check.
From the 40 now on second down. Prescott. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's got to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. Parker unable to get that one. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Bandit.
A first down throw for Prescott. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Here we go, 47. Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike. Exit.
On second down, Prescott again. He's going to let this one go deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
At their own 6-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Fielded about a yard deep. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. From one end zone to the other, 101 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really...
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jakeem Grant, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Dolphins offense cashes in with 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
That's what I do.
Here we go. Kill. 55. Here we go. Hey, check Mike.
Prescott now. And my goodness, another interception. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. Cooper was the intended target. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Hey, color.
Move off, Orchard.
They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Hey, White 80! Check Mike 54. Mike 54. It's outfield. 34. It's outfield.
Fitzpatrick from the gun on 3rd down. And he's got his tight end, Gesicki, in the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins. Mike Gesicki, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's Prescott. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And out across midfield down to the 45. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 45-yard line. Prescott now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Let's go. Hey, 2-2.
Throwing. Prescott. He's going to look end zone here for Cooper. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It was Minkah Fitzpatrick that time to break that one up. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
He's checking.
From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
You.
Here we go.
Now Prescott looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. Prescott to throw on fourth. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Prescott now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Forced out to his left. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards, the final tally. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
1 man to the backfield. That's Elliott on 2nd and goal.
Watch the shit. 47. 26.
Now Prescott. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Safarian Jenkins. But now it's 3rd and goal. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. Cooper was the target there. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 19-yard line. Right there in the middle. 55.
Strong.
Now Walton. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs.
Check 3. Safe. Watch safety creep. Safety's creeping.
Strong.
Operating from the gun. Fitzpatrick. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Devontae Parker, 78 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? No. I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away. Throw it over the sideline. Don't try and...
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Charles Harris. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Go to 54. Go to 54. Line
59, set. Mike 59. Record. Mike 5'9". Mike 5'9".
To throw is Prescott. And now here is another interception. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. 8 yards here, so that gets him back within striking distance. And now it's 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Line 80. 55. I'm not ready. 47.
Mike 5'5", Mike 55. Zoom. Let's go. Mike 55.
26.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Sean Lee, the longtime vet, getting in and getting to the QB. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Austin. We are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A win would be their 2nd on the young season. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. This one caught left side by Cooper. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
59, 59. 3 buzz.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott, incomplete, over the middle, Safarian-Jenkins. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 29-yard line.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Charles Harris able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Looking to throw. Prescott under pressure again, and down he goes again.
A 7-yard loss brings up 3rd down.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. A big offensive explosion helped